Hey, what's up guys? DJ LeFave here with a awesome thing that I just figured out and I want to share with you all. We're going to make a dynamic stinger transition all inside of OBS. No After Effects needed, no Adobe Premiere, nothing. It all happens inside of OBS. For this example, I'm going to be using Virtual DJ shader filters. These are the moving videos and sounds that you see that are on my screen. I have a couple of videos that teach you how to do this, so just look around for that in the description of this video. So what is this going to look like? I'm going to show you real quick after I tell you promotion time, E-Square with DJ LeFave, entertainment and education every Monday right here on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just look up what time is it in New York City, and that's the time that this show is going down. A chance for you to ask all of your audiovisual streaming, DJing, software questions right here, right there, all right? So that's Monday. Be there, all right? All right, so here we go. What are we going to show you? Check this out. You see the screen right now? With that transition, that little the video that's going on, that's now going to be part of my transition. Check it out. How cool is that, right? So whatever the video is, it's going to be my stinger transition, and this is all built inside of OBS, courtesy of the Move plugin, Move Transition plugin, Move Source plugin. I'll put the link to the description in there. If you don't know how to install a plugin for now, this one might be a little bit more advanced for you. But one more time, there you go. You see, it keeps on switching and it's dynamic, and it's so freaking awesome. So I'll do it one more time, just because it's so much fun. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to teach you how to do this, all right? So I've got this blank tutorial screen over here. This is just something that we've all been building on. If you've been coming to the show, we showed you how to make this dance floor last night. That's going to be our scene 2. And then scene 1, we're going to have just a video of me, okay? So those are just 2 of our production. We're going to switch back and forth between those 2. So what you have to do is first you have to bring in your virtual DJ video input. But this could be your video camera as part of your stinger. It could be a gameplay. It could be an image. It could be a media source file. Whatever. I'm just showing you how to do it with this. So you have your shader. It is now we've cropped it down. We've made the scene. The scene is now called VDJ Shader. So what we're going to do with this scene is we're going to right-click on it, and we're going to no, we're not going to right-click on it. We're jumping ahead of ourselves. We're going to click a new scene, add a new scene, and we're going to call this Shader Builder Example. So Shader Builder Example. Now we have a blank scene. What we're going to do is bring in that VDJ shader that I just showed you. So that VDJ shader that we just created, again, this could be anything. We're just going to nest that scene, and it is called, zooming on in here, it is VDJ shader, and we'll say OK. All right. So now that takes up your entire screen. The next step is you have to apply a image mask to this. So in the OBS Starter Kit project, I kind of walk you through in the first episode of how to create an image mask. What I did was I created one that took an icon from PowerPoint. You just go up here to icons, you click, I wanted to do a record player. So I did record, and then this record came up right here. And then you say insert, and then the record player shows up like that. What is black you can see through, and what is white you'll keep the video. So for this specific example, I just filled it like that. I turned it a little bit, cropped it, spin it all around, but the end result looks like this. You can make your design however you want. Just remember that you need to have an area inside of here that is about 16:9, because at any given point it has to fill up your entire screen, right? So as long as you have that area right there, you're good to go. In PowerPoint, I just select all, right-click, save as a picture, and now we're going to import that. So where do we import that? Do we import it here? No, we import it onto the scene. Import the image mask filter on the scene. Right-click on this, click on filters, I'm going to zoom in here for you, click the plus button, and we're going to do a image mask blend. We'll say OK, and we're going to browse for the file that we just created. I keep it in my OBS library in my images folder. And there's my record mask. We'll say open, we'll zoom out, and that is your first step. So now you can see that everything behind it, I'll give you an example here. If I added a color source, let's just say red color source, right? And we're gonna change the color of it to red, and this is gonna be behind it. We'll move it behind it. This is just to give you an example of right now. Oh no, I guess it blocks out everything. Bad example, DJ LeFave. Anyway, trust me on this one. Okay, so now we have our shader builder. That's what this one is. This is the shader builder, or the stinger shader builder. Now we're going to create our stinger scene. So we're going to say this example stinger scene. Okay, example stinger scene. That's okay. All right, so now we have another Blake one. We're gonna bring in that last scene that we just built, the shader builder example right there. So now we have this in, and what we can do with this one is we can crop it to make it pretty right there, and we can crop it up here to make it pretty up here. And if you wanted to overlay a graphic, an image, words, whatever you wanted to do in this is where you can do it, right here. This is it. Oh no, do it in the previous scene, sorry. Now we got to make it larger. We got to make this thing big so that way the center is completely covered by the video screen. And then just do Control D and it centers it to your screen. So right now, as this thing passes through, you have a cover. This is your cover right here. So we're good there. It's now covered. That's awesome. So we drag this over to right around there. I do right click, I do transform, and then I center vertically. That just gives me my starting point, okay? So now, this is where the next move filter magic happens. On the scene again, right click, say filters, and then we're gonna say plus. We're gonna add a new filter here, and the one we're gonna do is move source. This is a move source filter, say okay. Okay, so here we go. You select the source, it's the only source in here, the shader builder example. We're gonna make this last for 3 seconds. That's 3,000 milliseconds. Ease in and ease out is fine. All right, so here's the first thing. The source is stationed on the left, and we don't have to know all of these numbers and coordinates. All we have to do now is say, where do we want it to end? We want it to end all the way over here on the right. Right over there. So I'm going to right click on it again, transform, we're going to center vertically, and now all you have to do in here is say get transform. So now it's going to start in the starting position and it's going to move to that transform point, okay? So let me zoom back out, just go through my notes over here. We got notes because we're really good. So we want to, on this, in the visibility, we want to show at the start of the movement, okay? Show it at the start of the movement, and we want to, in the next section for actions, we want to activate when this filter becomes actively shown in the mix, and none. Stop when it's done. We're going to add a next move, but we can't do a next move yet because we haven't created it yet. But it's really easy now, OBS version 26. Just click on here, right click, and say duplicate. And this is going to be called Move Source 2. Move Source 2. This one we don't want to last for 3 seconds. We want it to be quick. This is the movement back. So now we say 10 milliseconds. All right, that's the lowest you can go. And then for this one, we have to get where we're moving it back to. So we're going to take this and drag it on back. Drag it on back. Drag it on back. And just to make sure the height is good, transform and center vertically. Okay, so now you go back here and you click on get transform, and it does all the coordinates and all the good stuff for you right there. All right, checking through my notes one more time. What we are going to do is at the start of this movement, we are going to hide. We're going to hide the source at the start of the movement, okay? And then moving on down to the start trigger, let me just double check what that is. There is none. This is use next move to start this move, and none, stop only when it's disabled. And that's all you have to do for that one. The last step in this filter process is go back to your first filter right here, and when you come on down here, you're going to do next move as move source 2, okay? So now to see how it all looks, you click start, and it's going to go over, you can see it, and then it's going to come back, and you see that on the left, right? See it already came back quickly, but you didn't see it because we turned it off. Click start one more time, and there you go. It is now a beautiful, dynamic stinger transition. Now, how do we make this work inside of our scene? Well, I'm glad you asked. So we have scene one right here, and that's an old one. We'll get rid of that. We were just testing things out. So in scene one, your primary scene, you're going to click the plus button under sources, and we are going to add a scene. What scene are we going to ask, you say? Example stinger scene, and we say okay. There it goes. It's only gonna do that the first time you add it, then you're good to go. Now you could just go down here, click Control C, that copies the source, and then go to your scene 2. And again, I already have this one in here, so we'll get rid of So now we're going to paste a reference. There you go. So now we have the stinger in both scenes. Now when I go between scenes, there's nothing here. To make this additional magic happen, we're going to use our Stream Deck. You can use Touch Portal. You can even configure hotkeys and do it with just your keyboard, or you can do it with BitFocus Companion. But that is the additional piece of this step that you do need to add in there. So how do we do this now? Here we go. So we're going to open up our Stream Deck software, and then in your Stream Deck software, you are going to. This is what I did for mine. So just to give you the idea of how it all works. It's a multi-action thing. So the first thing you're going to do is a multi-action button, and you're going to add the filter toggle, which is a OBS bar rater tool. So the filter toggle. On the filter toggle, you select, you name it, and then you name the source where your actual filter is applied. So we applied it to example stinger scene. I'm going to zoom out there for a second. I add the delay, and then I add the OBS studio scene that we're changing to. So to do this all, I don't know if it's going to talk to both OBSs right now because I had them both open, but we'll walk you through exactly how that step works. So I go down to my bar rater tools. This is the bar rater OBS tools, and So first thing we're going to do is you're going to add a multi-action. So right here under Stream Deck, multi-action, drag that sucker over. Now in multi-action, there's three things that you have to do. The first one is a filter toggle. So we're going to bring the filter toggle over. That goes in here. So the filter toggle that we're going to do, we're going to say example stinger. And the source name is the source that we put inside of OBS right here. So right here in OBS, it is the example stinger scene. That is the source. Check it out because it's under sources. So example stinger scene. Example stinger scene. And then the filter name was just called move source. How do we find out what that filter name is? You come down here, you right click, you click on filters, and move source. And we only have to do one because they're tied together. So move source is it. Okay, so we'll hit close there, and I'm going to zoom out. So now where's my Stream Deck? My Stream Deck software is right there. So just as a quick test, I don't think this is going to work, but we're going to try it. If I click this multi-action right now, I'm going to click it. Yeah, it's not going to work in here because it'll only control one OBS. So I'll just show you the rest of the steps that I did. The next thing you want to do is add a delay. Add a delay in here. And the delay that I added that worked for me was 1300 milliseconds. 1300 milliseconds. And we say okay to that, and then you're gonna add a scene to change to, and then from here you're gonna just title it to, we're going to scene 1, and then it's not gonna read it here, but you select your scene. Okay. So what I had done in mine is example. We're in the tutorial right now. When I click on the booth button, it's gonna do all of that. So here we go. I click on, just to show you again. This is just three things in a multi-action. When I click booth, and we're back, just like that. So it's really awesome, really cool. I'm happy to talk about it again. Like I said, on Monday, 2 days away. We'll already have a Super Bowl champion by then. But if you guys want to learn a little bit more about this, I encourage you to come on over, hang out, have fun, and learn about this. It's all built in. It's all 100% inside OBS. Nothing else is needed, making your scene transitions look a little bit cooler, right? I'm really digging it, and it's just so cool that it is dynamic stinger transition. I don't know if anyone else is doing this. If anyone else is doing this, let me know. If you like this, like and subscribe. If you guys want to donate, streamlabs.com/DJ LeFave. You guys can donate and help support the channel and keep us coming up with great new fun stuff. So that's all I got for you. I'm going to see you guys on Monday, right? We're going to see you on Monday, all right? Be there, 8 o'clock. DJ LeFave, out.